Alright, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. This is gonna be awesome. Can't wait till this game comes out. Oh man. Wait. What? October 17th, but these characters look complete already. But the game isn't even out yet. Why are they announcing DLC? Why don't they put them in the core roster? This is bullshit. Down with Capcom and their money-hungry ways. We've had enough of this. No more pre-made DLC. Why don't they learn from other companies? Wait, Dragon Ball FighterZ has this problem too? Oh well, they aren't Capcom, it's cool. I wonder who the 8 DLC characters will be. Well, it does look like we're coming to a close on the core roster pretty soon for this game, and so far, it does look to be really freaking good. Like, I'm super hyped for it. Just recently, they did announce that the actual release date here in the States is going to be January 26th. Holy sensu bean, Krillin. That's a lot sooner than I thought it was going to be. We even get it before Japan does. Like, I don't even know how that even happens. Among this release date hype, they also did say that there is going to be an 8-character DLC pack. It's going to cost about $34.99, about $35. That's on top of any version of the game that you buy, even the collector's edition, which is bullshit in my opinion. I'm just really excited for these 8 characters. I think they're all going to be awesome. Every character that they've shown so far has been really good. Judging from what Arc System Works said, or Bandai, I'm not sure which one it was, they did say that they're not limited to the Dragon Ball Z universe. I mean, take that as you will. It could mean that they're going to use Super. I mean, hell, they could even use GT characters if they really wanted to. Although I wouldn't count too much on those GT characters, most likely because Super is what's the new hotness right now. So if there are going to be other characters from other series, it'll most likely be from Super. Which is fine with me, because Super itself it's a fun show. Is it as good as Z? In my opinion, no. But it's a fun show to watch. So anyways, who could these 8 characters possibly be? Keep in mind, this is all my own personal thoughts. I could be way off, or I could be spot on, I don't know. But it's always fun to think and wonder, who could these mystery characters be? So let's start. Number 1, Bardock. Now Bardock is the brilliant scientist of the Saiyan race, and also Goku's dad. He's regarded as one of the coolest characters among DBZ fans simply because he's just badass looking. He's got the scars on his face, and his bandana is actually like blood filled, I believe, from one of his comrades that died. And he's the only Saiyan that stood up to Frieza, like on his own, took on his whole army, fought through his entire army just to get to Frieza. Before he got blown up. His biggest invention was the artificial moon, which helps the Saiyans transform into their giant ape forms whenever they needed, whenever they were taking over planets. The way I see him working in this game is pretty much like Goku does, a rushdown type character, but he could probably have a super where he throws his artificial moon into the sky, and he can transform into a giant ape, which would be pretty sick. Number 2, Beerus. With Dragon Ball Super being a big hit, it's most likely inevitable that Beerus will join the game. He's the god of destruction. He's all-powerful within Universe 7, and if he did make it into the game, I'd love to see like his fighting style revolve around like counters, like his counter animations. Like, he could probably have like a couple different ones, showing that like he doesn't even look like he's trying, where he's like blocking people with like his finger and then just smacks them away and can combo off of that. Yeah, I could see him being more like a defensive type character, even though he's strong as can be. Number 3, Trunks and Goten and or Gotenks. Now, I could see these characters working in pretty much two different ways. I think with Android 18 and 17 and even Captain Ginyu, that hasn't been shown off just yet since the making of this video, they've shown that they can fit multiple characters onto one character slot, and I think that could work with Trunks and Goten as well. And maybe they could use a level 3 and transform into Gotenks for a short period of time, which would be pretty cool too, and then he could have like a whole different set of attacks and specials and stuff like that, like a whole new moveset. Or they could just have like their character intro be them doing the fusion dance and turning into Gotenks and be Gotenks for the whole match as one character. Because Gotenks, out of all the Super Saiyans, he's got the biggest like repertoire of different moves and such. I mean, a lot of them are goofy, but he's got like the ghosts and stuff like that. I think Gotenks would be really fun. Number 4, the Great Saiyaman duo. Now, admittedly, this is one character that I'd like to be added just because I love like the goofiness of these characters. I actually cosplayed as the Great Saiyaman once, and if I still had the picture, I would put it up for you guys. But unfortunately, I don't. But I think they would work a lot like Androids 18 and 17, but would focus more on team combos rather than one of the characters coming out and doing one attack. Like, you could start doing like a regular combo, and as you're doing a combo, like Gohan can punch them up while Videl appears and punches them back down to Gohan, and it's like, or maybe like across the screen, it looked like a game of Pong between the two. I think it would be really fun, and they could do like their poses after like certain moves, or their super could be like a power up super where they pose. I don't know, I think they could have a lot of fun with them. Number 5, Cooler. Like most of the movie villains, Cooler is just like straight up badass. He gives no fucks, and with his cocky attitude, I think it makes him one of the coolest bad guys out of all the DBZ franchise. But pretty much he's Frieza's older brother. He comes down to Earth just to fucking finish what Frieza didn't, and he almost does. He pretty much almost kills Goku until Goku, the writing staff decided, no, Goku can't lose. But I'd prefer Cooler to be in his big bulky form, and it can probably make him a little slower and make him like a grappler, with like grab with his tail and stuff like that. Number 6, Janemba. Now, Janemba is a special case, I think. He doesn't have like a very big impact in the movie, pretty much as like a character. He's just kind of like a monster that's really strong and scary. But it does warrant, he is strong enough to warrant Gogeta to appear pretty much and one-shot him. With this character, I think more of the combo possibilities, like where he can fight up close with his sword, but if he's at a distance, he can use teleporting like punches and kicks, and even teleport himself maybe. I think it would make for a good like mix-up game, and he'd be a lot of fun to move around with. Number 7, Super Buu. Alright, so we already have Majin Buu as a character in the game, but the Buu that many DBZ fans remember, and the one that I personally like the most, and possibly everybody else, is Super Buu. Pretty much he's the evil version of Majin Buu, and he has the ability to absorb other characters, and he takes on their strengths and their traits. And that's what I think they could do with his gameplay for this game. This character, I could see him having like those transforming supers, kind of like Ryu does in Marvel vs. Capcom 1, where you can transform into Ken or Akuma. Pretty much like use a meter to transform into Gotenks Buu or Gohan Buu. And like that could possibly change his special attacks and his supers. I think it would be a lot of fun to see, and you can even fight like without any of the changes and have him do different attacks with like his stretchy limbs. all in all, I think Super Boo, he'd be a very creative character and a lot of fun. Number 8, Broly. I'd say Broly is one of the highest ranking DBZ villains out of the entire series, simply because he's just a straight up badass looking character. He's a giant fucking Super Saiyan, and he's stupid strong. It literally takes like at least 4 or 5 characters just to take him down, and they don't even really kill him. Now, this character, like many DBZ movie villains, is non-canon to the DBZ universe. However, what's nice about this game is that, like I said, they're not restricted to any DBZ storyline, so pretty much it's open up to any character being in, which Broly would be a definite shoe-in my opinion. For him, I could see him kind of like the Juggernaut, really. Like, he can charge through like Kamehameha supers with like armor, and like once he's on you, it's hard as hell to get him off. I could definitely see him being like stupid strong, maybe really slow. But yeah, Broly can definitely hold his own, and I'd love to see him in this game. Those are the 8 I'd like to see in this game, who I think have a good chance at being in this game. I do have 2 honorable mentions though. Hercule. Every fighting game has its joke characters, and this game doesn't have to be any different. Hercule's been in almost every DBZ fighting game, or every DBZ game, period. And I don't see why they wouldn't put him in now, you know? He has like such a fun array of attacks in all the other games. Like he has a Game Boy that explodes, he has a jetpack so he can fly. I think all around that he'd be a pretty fun joke character to have in the game. And lastly, I think Garlic Jr. This character is technically canon, but also not. Like, depending on if you go by the show or the manga, he's nowhere in the comics, but he is in the show. So I mean, it's up to you whether you want to count him as canon or not. But I could see him as like a very slow character, and pretty much he's pretty strong. But in the grand scheme of things, I mean, against like Super Saiyan Blue Goku, he's pretty weak. However, give him a level 3 where he tosses his opponent into the dead zone and one-shots him, and I could see him being a pretty scary dude. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'd love to know what you think will be the 8 characters that are the DLC. Let me know in the comments below. Till next time, game on, everybody.